and welcome to Fresh Dialogues. I'm Alison Van Diggelen, talking to you from Silicon Valley, California. Fresh Dialogues is an interview series with a green focus. Each week I interview business leaders and celebrities. Hello and welcome. Today on Fresh Dialogues, Jeffrey Toobin. Jeffrey Tubin, thank you so much for joining me today on Fresh Dialogues. And let's go on to your specialty, the Supreme Court. In 2009, they decided against environmentalists in a lot of cases.
Six out of six.
Yeah, what are your thoughts on that moving forward? Is that going to continue, this anti-environmental stance of the Supreme Court?
I think the court, as currently constituted, will likely continue in that direction. I don't think it's a particular hostility to the environment per se. I think it is a general sympathy for corporate defendants in all cases, environmental cases being one category of cases where the corporation is a defendant. They are also generally, the conservative majority, generally fairly hostile to government regulatory efforts. The environment is one area, but it's not the only area. So, you know, if the court stays as it currently is, I think you'll see a lot more cases like that.
So would you say it's moving more pro-business?
Clearly.
Right.
Very much.
And the environment's losing out as a result.
Well, I mean, if that's certainly how the environmental groups see it.
Right, and how do you see it?
You know, again, not a field of great expertise of mine, but I see who wins the cases and who loses them, and it's the polluters who keep winning.
Mm-hmm. And what about the future?
Right.
Justice Stevens is due to retire shortly.
He hasn't said so officially, but I think he will retire this spring.
So how is that going to change things? What are your
predictions?
Well,
I think you know, he is a key member of the liberal four on the court. He will likely be replaced by another liberal. So in terms of the outcome of cases in the next few years, probably not a huge impact. But you know, I often like to quote Byron White, the late justice, who liked to say, when you change one justice, you don't just change one justice, you change the whole court. You know, if you start to have an energized liberal group of young, by Supreme Court standards, justices like Sonia Sotomayor, like the next Obama appointee, the wind could start to be at their back. And if Obama gets reelected, you could see more appointments. So I think it's a big deal.
And who's your #1 candidate for that appointment?
Elena Kagan, the Solicitor General, former Dean of Harvard Law School, very much an Obama-type person, moderate Democrat, consensus builder.
Do you know if she's an environmentalist?
I don't. I just don't know her record. I mean, my sense is that, you know, that's not an issue that's come across her plate a lot. She is someone who has written on administrative law, which tends to mean that she is a believer in the power of the federal government to regulate, but I wouldn't, I don't know what she thinks, and B, I don't, A is enough. I don't know what she thinks about these issues. Okay,
well, Jeffrey Tubin, I really appreciate you taking the time for
My
Fresh Dialogues.
Nice to see you.
Check out freshdialogues.com for interviews with Paul Krugman, Martin Sheen, Tom Friedman, and many others.